I already talked about narration and point of view a little bit, and there's another thing that I want to say about this. When we write in first person, this is one of the most difficult things for us to deal with as writers, because we have our story being told here, and we'll notice that if we're writing in first person about ourselves, we have a POV character, and that POV character is called I. We also have a narrator outside the story, and that narrator is also called I. What I see a lot, and everyone will do this, when they write in first person, they blend these two I's because they're both called the same thing. They don't distinguish between having a narrative voice that's called I and having a POV voice that's called I. When we blend those two I's, I think it can become a bit confusing for the reader. They're not sure where they are. If we looked at my old little graph, we have the eyeball here. Sometimes they're having this immediate experience, and sometimes they're having this more distant experience. And if the writer is going back and forth between a POV named I and a narrator named I, the reader is going back and forth in this distance all the time, and they're growing a little bit confused. It's also maybe perhaps kind of a wash. They only have a single voice. They don't have the distinction of these two voices. So when we think about writing in first person, particularly if we're writing something like memoir or personal essay, I really encourage you to think about the difference between these two characters. And this is kind of a little bit complicated, but these two characters are always going to be distinguished from each other because this I doesn't know what's going to happen in the story, and this I does. And if a story is about something happening and change occurring and character change, we know that this I must be different than this one. And for me, they should feel different on the page.